Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this daily live session of Fun Academy. So, are we audible? Everyone, just show us the thumbs up quickly. Yes, everyone. So we have plenty of students watching us live right now. I'm sure you all were eagerly waiting for this session to happen. Yes. So my name is Ronak Shah, and I welcome all of you to this guest session, the evening talks with SCM HRD team. So we have Mr. Ketan and Mr. Digvijay. So I welcome all the guests of SCM HRD, and I'm sure they'll give us some valuable input so that it can enhance your preparation and clear your doubts, particularly about SNAP exam and about the admission process of Symbiosis. So I request all of you, first of all, just to type hello so that I can see your names. Please write something in the comment section, all those who are watching us live right now. And yeah, feel free to ask your questions. So I'll be taking your questions, and even guests are able to see your comments. Everyone. Hi, great. So, hi Ritik, Robin, good evening everyone. Anubhav, good to see all of you guys. Neeraj, Jashvi, Param, yes, Srinivas, Krishnan, Siddhant, great guys. Good evening everyone once again. Arohi, Vidit, yes, Jagdish, hi. Right, so guys, we have Mr. Ketan and Mr. Digvijay with us, and they are the students of current year SCM HRD batch. And so as you know, all the Symbiosis College is particularly SCM HRD, so they have everything managed by students. So even the corporate relation team is consists of students, and the admission cell is also formed by students. So you will get some valuable insights and inputs about everything that you are looking for. So are you all excited, guys? Quickly show a thumbs up, everyone. Right. Yes, Ketan, so over to you, please. So Ketan, just one thing, this is the common question that most of the students have asked us before you and Digvijay introduce yourself. So, the major talk nowadays is about this change paper pattern of SNAP. Suddenly, it has become of 60 minutes duration. Am I correct?
Right.
Right. So you are part of that committee. So I'm sure you will have some insights to share to the students. And please tell them the inside story so that they can also plan their preparation, and you can also share your strategy at that point of time. So yeah, please go ahead.
Right, sir. So, hello everyone. I'm Ketan Sharma and I'm pursuing marketing from SMHRT. And I hope you guys are doing well and your preparations are going on. So, before coming to the preparations part and snap changes, we would like to discuss that yes, the scenario is changing, everything is changing, but MBA remains the same. It is what it is. It was last year. The curriculum is same, everything is same, so the learning remains same. Hence, I would request Digvijay to introduce and then we can start.
Yeah. So hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Ronak sir. Thank you for inviting us over here.
Yeah.
So my name is Digvijay Pratap Singh. I am from the Business Analytics batch of SCMHRD, class of 2022. Great. So I worked with Tata Motors before this. Before joining SCMHRD, I worked for 33 months with Tata Motors, and I joined Business Analytics. So what has changed over the past year, we were also not sure, right, as to what was going to happen in the COVID situation and how things were going to change basically in this situation, right? But in SCMHRD, when we were asked to join in, right, when we were onboarded onto the institution, the process was so smooth. It was so worthy of joining in that we understood that it was an enabling session. It was an enabling experience for all of us. So yes, and talking about the change scenario and the change snap pattern, it has been done for the students. And it has been done just to make sure that all of the students remain safe during this pandemic situation, because we still haven't found a vaccine, right? So we have to make sure that everybody remains safe during this situation and we have a way out of it as soon as possible.
Yes,
Great.
so talking forward, we would like to start with the major Snap changes in 2020. So every exam is changing its pattern now. It is reducing the time, and that time reduction is for the safety of the students, as Digvijay mentioned. So in Snap now, there will be 60 minutes. The paper will be of 60 minutes, and the questions will be 60. So there is 1 minute per question, if you say. So the journal English section will be consisting of 15 questions, and like last time, as we discussed with Ronak before this session, that last time English was given higher weightage in Snap, but this time it has reduced a little bit. So 15 questions for general English, then 20 questions for quantitative aptitude and data sufficiency, and then 25 questions for analytical and logical reasoning. So we can see that this time logical reasoning will be a major part of Snap. And also about talking about the special questions, last year there were 5 special questions, but this year we don't have any special questions. So that's another change. And also apart from that,
Okay, just a moment. So
yeah.
yes, everyone, this year, as Ketan mentioned, there will be no special session. So you mean to say that all the questions will have same weightage, right?
right.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so all the questions will be MCQ, or there will still be some fill-in questions that you are expecting, non-negative marking questions?
Yeah, as per yeah, Digvijay.
Go ahead, Ketan. I'll join in later.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So as per the information which we have got till now, there are no special questions, and by special questions, it is similar to TETA questions in CAT.
Correct.
So there will only be MCQs.
Yes, okay, fine. Okay, so yes, one more thing. Students, please keep typing your answers. So whatever questions you wanted to ask to the students or the guest, please make sure you are typing it. We are observing and we are looking at your comments. And we also have Digvijay, who is pursuing business analytics as a specialization, and many students have many students want to understand that what is business analytics, why there is so much of buzz about this particular specialization, right? So what are the career opportunities on all? So maybe once we have discussed about Snap and then Symbiosis selection process, then we can also talk about specializations and you can share your views, right?
Yeah. Right. So
Yes.
as I have discussed the pattern, now I would like Digvijay to take us all upon the change in slots and how it will be beneficial for the aspirants.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
one of the things that people have been talking about in the changed pattern of Snap is that we will have a retake option as well. We will be having a retake option, and people could basically go and give the exam again, and people are apprehensive or maybe doubtful as to why we have a retake exam. So the thinking behind that is every day is not the same for everybody else. Plus, in this situation, you are not really sure in what kind of a situation you might find yourself in on the day of the exam. And if somehow if you spoil your exam because of that, you should not be blaming yourself, but you can give yourself a chance in the coming 10 to 12 days. You can prepare again, you can go through the mock papers again, you can go through what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and you can build upon your strengths and you can work upon your weaknesses and give the exam again, so that your output does not basically get defined by that 1 hour which you gave when you were in a mental situation in which you should not have given the exam. So that is why the retake option has been given to the students, so that the stress part, the panic option that students have on the day of the exam, that is reduced, and the strength of giving the exam increases by a certain amount. So that is one of the factors that you will have to lean back on when you'll be giving the Snap for the first time in December. And then it will be given a slot. You will be given 2 slots in January as well. So you can choose any of the 2 slots either in December or January, but preferably do it first in December and then go to the January slot, so that you have time in between. If you do not give the Snap as per your willingness, as per your thought process, as per you wanted to give it your full potential, go for the next slot in January, so that you can recognize your full potential. Right?
Yes, I think
So that
Digvijay, yeah, you have rightly mentioned that the reason for going for 2 slots, because there were so many perceptions that why they, Symbiosis has come up with this retake option. But as you rightly pointed out, it is keeping in mind this pandemic situation, right?
Also, I would like to add that not just the slots, it is also about the opportunity which students will get, because we are giving them now 2 opportunities, and also the reduction in timing. So same with CAT also, we can say that the timings are reduced because of the government regulations which have told that aspirants need to wear a mask at all times and wear a face shield also. So it becomes difficult to actually breathe and actually concentrate on something like a exam, like an exam of SNAP, which requires mental aggression and also a bit of calculation. So it becomes a little heated when we go to a 2-hour or a 3-hour exam. So it will be of use that they'll have to only think for 60 minutes, so they can be on the top of their performance on the day. And also so that the safety is also a concern there.
Okay, fine. Here a few questions are coming, so let me quickly just brief you about the question, and you can address them step by step. So Janvi Goswami has asked this question, that what will be the difficulty level of the question. Chapters like selection, distribution in logical reasoning take a lot more time to solve. So what will be the difficulty level, because everyone is thinking about 60 minutes, and SNAP was mainly logical reasoning based kind of exam. You can say you used to find more questions, more weightage of logical reasoning. Now you have just 60 minutes. So what will be that factor, or how will be the distribution of question first? Level of difficulty that students want to understand, what can they expect? So if you have some insights to share, please do it. Right, so these are the 2 questions that have come, and yeah, students are appreciating this fact that retake is a good initiative. So Harihara Krishnan is saying that thing. Same way Siddhant is also in that support. Jinoy is also saying okay, it's a good factor, it will surely reduce the luck factor part, right? Fine. So coming back to this paper pattern.
So taking that question which Janvi has posted, that what will be the difficulty level, you just have to understand, Janvi, that the thing is the questions have also been reduced by half along with the time, right? So you will have to play it like a power play. It will be a power play throughout. You just have to go in and have to smash it out of the park every time you face a question. And for that, you have to prepare accordingly. You cannot have a lag time. You cannot have that kind of mental preparation time during the exam. That 10-15 minutes in the beginning, everybody goes slow and then starts to work it up. The pace starts to work it up. That cannot be the strategy here. You have to go through the motions right from the beginning itself. The first minute you enter, you have to go bam, bam, bam. Everything is to be there, and you have to get your big guns out from the first minute itself. The course remains the same, the syllabus remains the same, the questions that will come will remain the same. It's just that the number of questions have been reduced, the time has been reduced to half, and you get more opportunity to score better by attempting less number of questions.
Okay.
That is how you have to look at it.
So just one thing before I mean you go ahead, because let students know about yourself also. So which exams did you appear for? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting here, but students need to know that what kind of credentials you have, right? So why don't you share your CAT score, SNAP score, and the other exams that you appear, and then probably they would like to ask you about the strategy. Particularly in this changed paper pattern phase, what should be the strategy? Yeah, Ketan, starting with you, and then Digvijay. Yeah.
Right, sir. So I would like to mention that I had given CAT, IFT, and SNAP. So in CAT, I scored a little low. It was 91 percentile, and then I moved to IFT. Then I gained some confidence, and I gained around 96 percentile in IFT. And also then I gave SNAP, in which I scored 98.94 percentile and converted SCMHRD. So I'm talking about the level of difficulty, as Janvi has mentioned. So level of difficulty in any paper remains the same throughout. Like there will be some easy questions, there will be some moderate questions, and then there will be some hard questions. It is up to you, it is up to an aspirant, the strategy which he follows. Like everyone should remember that you need to pick up the easy questions first, so that you gain confidence in the first 15 minutes of that paper, and also you are fairly sure that you are gaining marks when you are attempting those first 10-15 questions. because they are easy.
Okay. Yes,
Correct.
Digvijay.
Yeah, so one of the things that before going into my marks and what my strategy was, the one thing that I would add to Ketan's point is you have to understand that you have to sift through the paper once, at least once. You cannot miss out on the last question, because this is what happens with students. They generally attempt the first 20, 25, 30 questions in 40 minutes, and after that, the next 35 questions in the next 20 minutes. So that is not possible. You have to go through the entire paper once. You have to attempt what you can and then go back and attempt the most moderate or difficult questions, so that you basically face the easier questions first and then go on to attempt the difficult questions if you have time left. So in that way, you could basically improve your scoring skills. The thing that about the scores, I scored 95 plus percentile in SNAP, and it was 94 plus in CAT. I chose business analytics because it is one of the, as it has already been said, and it is one of the most cliched terms in terms of data being the new oil and how businesses are running on data, and everybody is now going after business analytics, and the world basically is moving towards data analytics as their own leaning back problems, right? So I chose business analytics because there is a lot to learn in terms of both technical aspects and the managerial aspects. So that was my theme of choosing business analytics, and my preparation strategy was a bit different from what Ketan's was, because I was working at the time I was preparing for this. So I could not give as much time to my preparation because I did not have the whole 24 hours with me. I had to work from 8 to 6. I came back, I gave 3 to 4 hours in a day. And yes, for working people who are here, who are watching us live, you have to give your Sundays up to preparation. 24 hours of Sunday is not your own. You have to give it up for mock exams, for mock analysis, and for preparation of words, vocab, and RCs. 24 hours is not your own on Sundays. That is what I'll
Yes, guys, couple of questions, some interesting questions have come up from two students. Yeah, so one is there any clarity on the dates for the first phase of exam and the second phase of exam? Because students are still not very clear about the dates. That's the first thing. And second question that someone has asked, Anubhav Sinha has asked, not Anubhav Sinha, someone else. He is asking this thing, that will the paper be more difficult in the retake? You know, just like something happened in CAT 2003 when the paper was leaked, when the retake happened, the paper was actually very difficult. So of course, this is a different scenario, but then what are your views on these two aspects? Then I'll take up some more questions. Guys, keep posting your questions. All the viewers, yeah, keep going on. That's perfectly fine. The session, there is no time limit for this. And, you know, both our guests will give you all the necessary insights that you're looking for, right? Okay, yes, over to you.
So I would like to talk about the dates first, and then Digvijay would take the question of the retake and difficulty part. Yeah. So dates are being as per the information which is circulated. The dates for registrations are starting from 23rd of September, which is 3 days to go, and till 28th of I think November or sometimes, like it is not clear yet. So, but the starting date is 23rd of September, and also the phases are like the first phase, the first date is 20th of December. So it is like the last year's pattern. Last year it happened on 15th of December, and this year it will be happening on 20th of December. And then the second and third slots are actually very close because because it doesn't make any sense to give 3 chances. So, and also Symbiosis has mentioned that you are only given 2 slots. So the second phase will be in January, and the dates for which are 6th of January and 9th of January. So that is why Digvijay mentioned in the start that you take up a slot in the December date, is that on 20th, and then decide to take a reattempt on 6th or 9th of January. But there is a caveat here that Symbiosis has mentioned that people will have to choose both the slots before the 20th slot, because they cannot go, because the results will be declared only once.
Okay.
Right.
So results will be definitely from best of both the attempts. Is it? Yeah, great. Okay.
So,
and yeah, there is one more question before you just go ahead, or you can maybe park that question and you can answer that later on. So they are asking, will Symbiosis release some official mocks? Any communication about that? will some mocks practice papers be available on Symbiosis official website or Snap official website?
About the mocks, the team that is responsible for the mocks is preparing the mocks according to the new formula of exam that will be happening, the pattern, and accordingly the people will be informed about it on our websites. So you can basically visit the website as frequently as you can to see all the new changes that have happened and the mocks that you want to appear for. There will be chances that there can be few mocks like there were last year also. So rest assured that Symbiosis will come up with a plan for that as well. And talking about the other question as to what the difficulty level was, right, Ronak sir? That was the question.
Right.
The question is actually that the difficulty will change in the retake part.
Retake.
Okay, yes. So nothing like that sort happens or there is no such clarity on that part because syllabus and the question paper pool, it remains the same, right? And there is no idea of making a more difficult paper for students in the second attempt or the third attempt or any attempt, whichever attempt they are taking, because it's totally up to the students which attempt they are going to take. It's just that when you take an attempt on the first day itself, you can go about it more freely as if you take it in the January attempt. Why I am saying this is because then the second attempt that you might be taking would be just 2 or 3 days away. So there is not much time to work upon your strategies.
Okay,
Because,
so
yeah.
I'm sorry. You can go ahead in case if you have something to say.
So the only point that I wanted to make here was you can you can basically be sure that the difficulty level is not going to change for all of the 3 slots. There is no such kind of paper in which the difficulty is going to change, and you can prepare for all of the 3 papers in the same way. Just work upon what your insights tell you about from your first attempt itself.
Okay, so I think Sankalp, you had asked this question about difficulty, so I'm sure it is addressed. Okay, there are many students who are asking majorly about one strategy. Okay, 2 preparation plan, that what should be your preparation plan for next 2.5 3 months, and third about SCM HRD courses, and how this SCM HRD fare compared to the new IIMs. That is what they want to understand. So we have plenty of students like Anubhav, Sinha, Jinoy, Mukul, Param, so yeah, Janvi, right, Darshna. So many students are asking this question. They want to know about SCM HRD as well. Right, so I think you have given sufficient insights about Snap. So maybe we can talk about now preparation strategy, and is it better to attempt verbal first, because now we have very limited time. So should we go ahead with the verbal first and then go ahead with others? So what will be the strategy, how to prepare, and then about SCM HRD courses and the opportunities?
Yeah. So talking about verbal first, the first thing that everybody tells you, and that is the correct process to go with it, is read as much as possible. Anything. Read any kind of literature. Read anything that basically interests you, right? It could be from mythological to any kind of literature or autobiography, anything that gives you new perspective, right? From the first day itself, just go about reading and improving your vocabulary, because that is going to help you in the long run. Plus, it is going to help you improve your concentrations while reading the long passages. It is not just for this exam, but for all the exams where you get long passages and you have to answer 5 or 6 questions from that. So you need to have a basic understanding of how you go about it, right? So just read and read more. Okay. And other than that, talking about the other aspect of verbal ability,
I would like to add here that as the question mentioned that in 60 minutes we should attempt verbal first or first quant. So I would like to make it very, very clear that Snap doesn't have any sections, or the time is not allotted as per the sections. Snap is a 60 minutes paper and you will have 60 questions to go. So you can attempt whatever question which you think it might be your strength. If your strength is general English or maybe vocab words are your strength, then just go find those questions and attempt them first, and then move to quants and then move to LRTR. Right. And coming for the preparation strategy for general English, like in CAT, the section is called verbal ability, while in Snap it is called general English and reading comprehension. So there will be some reading comprehensions, and those are mainly based on the factual part. The questions are factual. So you'll just have to read the passage very carefully and you'll get the answers easily. Apart from that, there are vocabulary questions, there are antonyms and synonyms. So you just have to go through all those on a regular basis. Like there is still time left for 2 months, so you can take time on a weekly basis to go through all the antonyms and synonyms, or maybe go on a daily basis to read at least 5 synonyms or 5 vocab words.
Yeah,
Apart from that, there are
go ahead. Yeah, Ketan,
there are
you
some
can
questions about grammar, and there are some questions about the para jumbles. So that depends on your practice, and you will get to know if that is your strength, if you are getting them correct in the mocks. Coming to the strategy for LRDI, I would say the quant and the LRDI section is clubbed here, and the questions come basically are logical reasoning questions are from the pie chart part, and also line graphs and bar graphs. So what you do is you make sure that you are well versed with those type of formats, because if you see a format which you are familiar with, you will gain confidence while attempting that question. So it is very necessary to actually do those questions on a daily basis. Apart from that, as it is a speed paper, then I would say that do Sudoku a lot. Like I used to do Sudoku at least 3 to 4 times a day to increase my speed. And basic calculation and Vedic calculation techniques, which you can get on YouTube, or maybe Ronak sir also teaches live every day. So you can get those techniques on your fingertips.
Right. So Ketan and Digvijay, just before we go ahead, so there are plenty of questions which are coming from Prakash Nikam, Darshna, Tanay, Robin Saxena, and they have asked some very valid questions. So before I just go ahead about that, I just want to tell all our viewers that how can you prepare in next 3 months, guys. So see, first thing that you can do is just make sure that all of you have subscribed to this channel. This is Unacademy CAT for MBA, and Unacademy CAT for MBA is known for quality education. We have team of the best of the educators who are taking sessions for quant, LRDI, verbal daily. Okay, and not only that, we also conduct sessions on Unacademy app as well. So I want all of you to first subscribe to this channel and make sure that all of you have downloaded this Unacademy app. And once you have downloaded the Unacademy app, you can definitely search me by my profile name. It is Ronak. You can search me by this name, Ronak Shah. So once you have downloaded the Unacademy app, guys, I am conducting everyday session for about 4 to 5 years, and all these are free sessions. Everyone, as you know, Unacademy is India's largest online learning platform. So we are conducting free sessions on YouTube and on Unacademy app as well. So please download this app and follow me, and you will get updates about my sessions. Okay, so this is how you can continue learning, right? So let's move back to the guest, and they have plenty of points to make over here. Yeah.
So as I was talking about the LRDI section, it is based on mostly the graphs and the logical reasoning questions like setting arrangements or sports. So these are some of the questions which come in LRDI, and it is almost dependent on your practice, and it depends on what type of confidence you have in those questions. Because you cannot waste your time thinking about the question and then attempting it. You should, whenever you see that question, it should hit in your mind, it should strike in that you have seen that question, you have attempted it, and you will attempt it with full accuracy. Now coming to the
so just some question. Yeah, you were talking about something. Okay, then just go ahead.
Right.
Then I'll mention that.
I'll just quickly complete it. So coming to the analytical and logical reasoning. So this year it will be having major number of questions, like 25 questions from this, and most of the questions are basically which will be testing your logical reasoning, basically the diagrams which come like flow charts, or maybe relationship questions
Knights
like
and knaves, right? Symbiosis Snap is known to ask you knight and knave puzzles. Guys, you should be aware about those knight and knave puzzles where, you know, one person is speaking truth, another always speaking a lie, and third one speaking truth or lie. So that kind of puzzles, right?
Right. Blood relation questions, because you might think that it is easy, but when you are in a pressure situation, like you have 60 minutes only, those easy questions also get incorrect sometimes. So you should be very, very thorough with those type of questions, because they'll get you an easy marks. Those are actually sitters if you are well versed with them. Apart from that, do not make assumptions. and stick to the information which is provided in the question itself. You cannot assume that if it is given that Sita is the mother of Ram, then you cannot you will have to see if it is given that Sita is the mother or Sita lives with Ram. Because if Sita is the mother, then she is a female. While if Sita lives with Ram, then you cannot assume that if she is a female just by the name. So these are some of the things you should keep in mind.
Okay, see, one more question since you were talking about the section. So someone has asked, Tanay has asked this question, how many RCs can we expect in the paper? Any idea that as per the insights that you have? Reading comprehension, can we expect certain number of reading comprehension?
Last time, sir, there were around 2 to 3 RCs with 5 questions each. Right?
Correct.
So this time we can expect lesser number of RCs with lesser number of question distribution because the number of questions have been reduced. But how many RCs would be there? It is difficult to gauge and difficult to tell because that is still in the process. And once the mock papers come out and once the institute basically gives out an official mock, it would be clearer because saying it right now and then making just an assumption, as Ketan rightly mentioned, that making an assumption it could go wrong. So we refrain from making an assumption about it.
Okay, just one more thing. So every year SEM, HRD and other Symbiosis constituent come up with some practice mocks online and some interactive sessions. So this year, what are the plans of SEM, HRD? Are they starting any Facebook page or any forum or something where students can discuss? Can you just tell them about the inputs that they can expect from you?
Go ahead, Ketan. Right. So yes, as rightly mentioned, SCMHRD is having a Facebook page where we are actually uploading a lot of content regarding the preparation part of SNAP and also regarding the SCMHRD and the events of the college. Apart from that, we have a Pagal Guy page, like official admissions SCMHRD 2021-23 page, where all the aspirants can go and put on their queries, and we are the ones who are handling that page. So we'll get back to you. We'll get back on the comment section and we'll reply to any queries you had. Apart from that, if you are wanting any type of personal help or basically right now the situation is also not that great. People are in stress. People are worried about if they will be in that city where they are choosing their location while filling up the form. So these are some of the questions. So you can ping us on our Facebook page and we'll get back to you from there.
Okay.
And I think that
can you just briefly mention the Facebook page link? I'm sure students will search it. I'll also post it in the comment section. But
right.
If you can just briefly announce it so they can also search it.
Right. So the Facebook page link is admissions@SCMHRD. You can just go there. You'll find a lot of new content which is posted during this virtual sessions. You will see how SCMHRD is coping with this online sessions. And also we are coming to different cities with our sessions, which is starting from 25th of this one. So I hope we'll see a lot of aspirants there, and that is going to be an interactive session to clear any more doubts regarding the SNAP form filling and the process which happens after that.
Okay, so there are a few more questions. So Darshana has asked, how SNAP is different from CAT this year. What can you expect? Because CAT has also reduced the time duration, right? So how will you compare these two exams? Can you just throw some light on that?
Yeah, so comparing CAT to SNAP, basically, it's not a very easy job comparing two exams per se, because the first thing is CAT's VARC section and DILR section are quite different from what we get in SNAP exams.
Okay.
SNAP's English section, or the general English section, as Ketan already mentioned, has a lot of questions that are basically hit or miss. You either know them or you don't. If you make a guess, there is 50% probability that it will go wrong. But in CAT exams, what happens is you can basically make assumptions about the things, and if you know if you know an idea about stuff like that, you can basically make an educated guess. But the thing with SNAP is you have to be certain that if you are certain that the question that you are attempting is going to be correct, then only you should take the options. because if you make a guess and it goes wrong, there is obviously 1/4 negative marking over there, and the chances of getting it wrong becomes 3/4 because the options are 4 and the answer is going to be direct. It's going to be a synonym, antonym question, or is it going to be a phrasal verb, or is it going to be something else? So you have to be very certain about what you're going to attempt. Other than that, quantitative methods and logical reasoning, as Ketan has already mentioned, they are almost similar to what CAT pattern is, almost similar to what CAT questions come like. The problem complexity level is not very different. The way you prepare for any other MBA exam, that preparation could be extended to the SNAP pattern as well. Ketan already mentioned a few pointers about LR. You could basically go ahead about quantitative methods also. You could read about geometry and mensuration, permutations and combinations, the time speed, the time and work problems, data interpretation, data sufficiency, simple and compound interest. These are the kind of topics that you must basically be well versed with to make correct assumptions in the paper and make the correct answers come out from your thinking process, because the options are not going to give you much. They are just there to confuse you.
Right. Okay. All the viewers, I just want to tell you that we are, the session is going to go on for another 30 to 40 minutes, in which we are going to discuss about SCM HRD courses and a particular specialization, selection process, and the cutoffs also. Right, so please park your questions. I'm reading all the questions because the questions are flowing like anything, right? So we are addressing all the queries one by one. So we have one question which is related to the exam scheduling. Sanjay Singh has asked, can we choose the date, or exam will the SNAP body will allot us the date? Do we have that option of choosing the date like we do in NMAT, or it will be like allotted to us? What is that procedure?
Right. So as far as the information is out right now, there are 3 slots, and students will get a chance to select out of those 3 slots. And Symbiosis will confirm those slots once the form is registration is done, and then students can give their exams. Because what happens in NMAT is that they give you a whole calendar, and out of that you choose the dates. While here the dates are already given, you just have to select your slot, and whatever slot you choose, you'll have to go to the examination center that day and give your exam.
Okay, so, before we proceed, guys, so just want to quickly show you about this thing that if you're worried about your preparation, Unacademy provides you completely free preparation. So what you need to do is, first make sure that you have subscribed to this channel, everyone. So you should have subscribed to this channel. This is Unacademy CAT for MBA, where you are watching it live right now. And you can also be part of our group. So this is our Telegram group, Unacademy_Ronak Shah. I'm personally managing it. So please join this group, and you can download our Unacademy learning app, and you can attend plenty of free sessions. I'm personally conducting daily about 3 to 4 hours of session, for which you really don't need to make any payments, or you don't need to take any subscription. So please follow me. You can find me on Unacademy app by the name Ronak Shah, and you can keep attending the sessions every day. Okay, so let's quickly come back to the question and answer part, everyone. Yes, so some of the questions that are coming are about cutoff before we go ahead with the specializations and the courses at HCM HRD. Right, can you just tell us something about the cutoffs that students can expect this year, and the marks? What will be the total marks, and what will be the cutoff approximately, if you can give a bird's eye view?
So talking about cutoffs, basically the cutoffs for SCM HRD in the core section goes to around the higher percentiles in 97.5 percentile and above that. So for scoring that this year, the number of questions are going to be less, as we have already been talking about. So you can basically keep yourself on the safe side by attempting 45 plus questions correctly. Out of 60,
45 plus
get to
questions,
45
right.
questions correctly. That could basically keep you in a safe zone. If you score higher than that, then you're definitely going to be in a much safer zone on an island where nobody can touch you. So that is one of the things that you have to look at, and that is the bird's eye perspective that I could give you. The exact number is 45 plus. Go for it.
Also the total score, as somebody has asked, so the total score will be of 60 marks. The paper will be of 60 marks because each question is for 1 mark, and the negative marking is 25% of that particular question. So it will be a negative marking of 0.25 if you get it wrong, and a plus 1 for the question you get it right. So out of 60, we think that we are speculating that, because it also depends on others' performance as well, because it is a percentile game. So it depends on others' performance on that day, how they are performing and how you are performing with respect to them to get a percentile. But tracking on the previous snap papers, it is very well thought that 45 plus questions would fetch you around more than 97 or 98 percentile.
Okay, so team, let's move to now the selection process, because entrance exam, snap exam is just one part of getting into one of the coveted Symbiosis colleges, right? The other part is, of course, your academic background and your work experience and other areas. Then comes that interview and group exercise. So can you please help students about this? Okay, what is the weightage of the past academics, that is 10th, 12th and graduation? So that is what someone has asked, right? And then, a work experience, since Digvijay, you have work experience before you got into MBA, so you can just share how it was helpful to you, and then you can explain about group exercise and interview, typical interview at Symbiosis.
Right. So there is the group exercise part of the snap portion. It is one of a kind for SCMHRD to say, right? And the admissions and PR team over there has been functioning so smoothly for the past so many years that they have been awarded with the best selection process in all of India amongst all of the B schools.
That's great.
So me, from my personal experience, and Ketan can also vouch for that when we went there, the process was as smooth as a butter knife. And everything was so quick, and everything was so precise that we did not have to wait for a moment. We did not have to waste any time. And yes, the thing is about the WorkX people, the interviews might be more inclined towards what you have done in your WorkX, plus what do you want to achieve from the course that you are pursuing, right? That I could also see a question from Dhwanit that talked something about the most coveted course of business analytics in SCMHRD. And since I am the right person over here to talk about it, I would shed some light over it also. That business analytics is now one of the most sought after course in India itself. Not just India, it's one of the most sought after courses in the world. As in the beginning also I mentioned that industries are moving towards, businesses are moving towards data related queries, data related analytics, and to improve their business and to give a foresight of things to come, they are leaning towards business analytics. And SCMHRD took it, they wrote the curve from the beginning itself. They introduced a 1-year course in 2012-13 and they converted it to a 2-year full-time course in 2017. And many of the top tier B schools and many of the top B schools in the country have followed suit. They have also come up with the 2-year business analytics program this year or the year before. And many of them have put it in the pipeline for the next year. So we can all see that business analytics is one of the programs where there is a plethora of things to learn. And since it is mainly for the people who have 2 years plus WorkX, so that means that you get people from all over the country with a variety of backgrounds. There is a thought process in people that only IT people get into this, and people who know coding get into this. Rest assured, guys, I am from mechanical engineering, and Symbiosis Center of Management and Human Resource Development, SCMHRD, starts from scratch. Coding starts from scratch. It starts with the Hello World program that we all know about. It starts with Python hands-on programming, the R program, the Tableau, all of the different machine learning tools. They are all taught to us from scratch itself. and we are built in a manner that we can all answer techno-managerial questions as well as lead a team into getting all of the business related problems solved at once.
Okay, yeah, so that's about the particular business analytics course, and I'm sure students will ask few more questions specific to this course. But there are some questions related to this. So I think yeah, someone had asked about this program, coveted business analytics program. So I think that question is answered. Now there is one question, yeah, which you can address maybe, Ketan. It's about weightage given to the past academics, right? And what is there for freshers? How can a fresher clear this symbiosis selection process? What do they need to do for that? And then yes, everyone, so we will address your queries related to that. Someone is also asking that how is your life right now, how is the virtual MBA which is going on? Anubhav has asked this question. So everyone, Kumar, Navya, Anubhav, Shyam, yes, we'll address all your queries, right? Someone is also asking, curious about infrastructure at SCM So we'll come back to that, but before that, yes, Ketan, if you can just tell us what is there for freshers? How can a fresher crack the symbiosis selection process?
Right. So everyone preparing for MBA has a thought that work-ex people will be preferred, or people with freshers will not be preferred. But that is not the case at SCMHRD. And also the process, like the GE pivot process, it does not have any special weightage to the past academic records. Like Symbiosis is actually a college, and SCMHRD is a college which is giving the talents of India, the country, a second chance, because some people actually do not perform well, or for some reasons they do not perform well in their college or in their 10th and 12th. But at SCMHRD, you have to show that you are the manager of future. You have that potential to actually be there and do that work or get that work done. And if the faculties and if the interviewer sees that ability in you, then you are selected. Apart from that, the weightage given to those processes is actually being kept to the aspirants who actually qualify for that, and that is being told in the emails itself. And it is a unique process altogether, and it is we'll like to keep it a surprise for the aspirants. Once they qualify for the exam for SCMHRD, they will definitely get to know, and it is just a process. And people have their own, like it is like for IIMs we have GDPI, so people prepare for the GDPI, but you cannot prepare for group exercises. It is at the moment, right there at the moment, so that makes it very unique.
Right. So this year, all those who are watching, let me just share, because I have been training students for last 12 years. So I'd like to share experience of one of my 2019 students who got into symbiosis. Right. So they, as part of this group exercise, they were given some newspapers, and they had to create the tower, and they had to balance something. So all the students were divided in the groups of about 5 or 6 candidates in each group, and then they had to create this tower and they had to balance something. Now during this process, they actually don't want to create a solid strong tower, but they want to see how is your coordination and how is your behavior with your group members, right? Are you able to lead the group? Are you able to control the group? Are you a good team player? How is your communication skills and all these things? So this is what is being observed, and every year, I mean, I hear about different types of activities that students faced during the group exercise. So guys, that is one of the reason I keep telling you that keep attending our sessions, be part of this daily live sessions that we are conducting, so that you can get even more insights, right? Okay. So there are a few more questions. Acha, Suyash wanted to know about sports management. Suyash, there are so many different specializations that are going on in symbiosis. This particular session is hosted by our guests are from SCMHRD, so they'll tell you all they'll give you all the information about the courses at SCMHRD, right? So maybe we'll keep a separate session for the information that you're seeking for. Stay tuned to this channel. Right. Yes. Over to you.
So, yeah, sir.
Ketan.
So I would like to, somebody was asking about the infrastructure and development and management course at SCMHRD. So that is also a very, very relevant course as seen during the pandemic, and coming in the near future of 5 to 10 years, where government is really pushing hard to build infrastructure in urban cities and smart cities basically. And also during this pandemic, government has given a 1 lakh crore impetus for these projects. So we need managers who can actually execute these projects with a finesse, and also there is a lot of a requirement in the energy and transportation sector, where because in the pandemic, during the lockdown, we saw that there is a huge gap between the supply and the demand, and also the products are not being able to fetch to the people who are requiring it. So these type of infrastructure need to be developed, and management, like the infrastructure development management, is a course where we learn about the project planning, project management. These are some of the courses. And apart from that, risk management, project execution, and urban infrastructure. So, and also this has been started from the last 7 years. So there is an alumni base of this particular specialized courses, unlike the other new colleges who are delving into this course. And also I would like to mention that our alumni are working with world's largest organizations and also biggest companies, corporates, for example, the World Bank and Wipro. Reliance Power comes to actually hire for the IDM part. Apart from that, Deloitte is a consulting firm who are looking for project management managers and project planners who can actually execute those processes.
Okay, just one question. So when someone gets into SCM HRD, right? For example, you also have the general management, that is normal MBA program, apart from those specialized business analytics and infrastructure development program. So if I, as a student, if I get into SCM HRD general management program, so what specializations are being offered to me, right? Can you just tell us something about that, the specializations offered in general management?
So, Ketan, would you like to take it?
Okay. Yeah. So actually, sir, what happens is before even registration starts at 23rd, so aspirants are given an option to enroll for the colleges also, because SNAP is an exam aptitude test, but colleges are different. So students need to actually select the colleges and also the specialization. So SCMHRD gives 3 options for the aspirants. One is the core, MBA core, then MBA in business analytics, and then MBA in infrastructure and development management. So that is what the process is all about. So if you want to go into IDM or BA, then you'll have to select those courses beforehand.
No, Ketan, my question is slightly different. Suppose if I go for core program, so what are the specializations I can choose in the second year? That is marketing, finance, HR, supply chain management, IT, international business, retail. So these are some of the specializations which are nowadays offered in most of the colleges in the second year of their core program. So what about SCMHRD?
Yeah, right. I was coming there. So what happens is if a person chooses MBA core in their form, selection form, so they will be given, if they because the cutoffs are also different for all 3 of them, all 3 specializations, like the MBA core and BA and IDM. Cutoffs are different for those. So if you choose MBA core and get selected and also convert SCMHRD, then you have an option to choose from HR, marketing, finance, and operations. And also there is one new course which is starting under the MBA core program, which is the strategy and innovation course, specialization.
Okay.
So these are and also as we know that SCMHRD is known for its HR course, and it comes in top 5 all over in the country's rank. So HR is very sought after course which is at SCMHRD. Majorly people at choosing HR for their specialization, but marketing also is catching up, and we can see through the placements that marketing is not very left behind when it comes to placement, and it is actually comparable to SIBM Pune as well.
Yeah, so I think Purojit, your queries answered that infrastructure development course that you had asked. In fact, Nandita was also asking about this. How is this HR program at SCMHRD and how is it different from the HR programs offered by IIMs and other colleges? Right. So, is there anything unique about HR program at SCMHRD because of which it comes in top 5, like companies coming to that, or the teaching methodology? So, what is that unique about HR program? If you can just tell us.
Yes. So I'll take that, Ketan. So the thing is, HR, as Ketan already mentioned, is one of the top 4, top 5 colleges in the country. SCMHRD ranks in those colleges. The question is why, right? So it has got the SCMHRD college has got a 27 plus years legacy, and the alumni base of around 5,000 plus alumni who are working in the CXO level positions all over the country, all over the world. Right. So other than that, the faculty members which we have, they are highly qualified. They are one of the best faculty members in the country itself. They are all research scholars. They are all PhD graduates. They are all the people who have seen industry firsthand, and they are giving that knowledge to their students. Plus, the students get to perform live projects. They get to have summer internships in one of the best, in all of the best, what do we call it, the companies in the country. There is experiential learning from the teachers itself, from the lecturers itself, from the visiting faculty. They come and they tell you their experiences, and students learn from them. The case study experiences, the competitions that come to SCM-HRD. We host a plethora of competitions, the corporate competitions also in the HR domain itself. So these are the few things that basically make SCM-HRD in a different league as compared to the IIMs. Not just the new IIMs, but the older IIMs also. SCM-HRD's HR course is comparable to the top IIMs in the country as well, because of the courses that the pedagogy of the courses that we offer in HR, marketing, finance, operations, and also business analytics. They are all going through.
Yes. Ketan and Digvijay, someone is asking about placement. So Aditya is asking about the placements, particularly the placement packages. If you have some insights, can you just share those insights about SCM-HRD particularly? What is the median, or you can say average salary for time being, and the highest package, international versus domestic?
So yeah,
go ahead for it.
Yes, so for the placements part, we actually are very up to the date, and for the placements, like we can discuss about the last year's placement 2019. So the average package was 16.1 lakhs, and about the highest domestic package went up to 32.8 lakhs, which is a massive package. Some of the new IIMs are also not getting those packages. It is just because the legacy and the alumni base of SCM-HRD, which is doing this benefit to all of the current students. And apart from that, the international placement went about 58 lakhs. And if I go specialization wise average, then I could say that HR has an average of about 17 lakhs, and then marketing has an average about 16.2, finance has an average of close to 15 lakhs per annum, while operations going 13.2, and similar for business analytics it is 14.8 per annum, and for IDM it is 12.1. Here I would like to also mention that for business analytics and IDM, the fees is also less. So the ROE part is very good for the business analytics and IDM part.
Okay, so can you just tell us something about typical life at SCM-HRD? Okay, so can you tell us how is your regular schedule? Forget about this pandemic situation, but in general, if you look at normal regular residential MBA program, so how is your day, a typical day at SCM-HRD, and how do you manage that?
Yeah, so I'll take that question, Ketan. We are missing that life at SCM-HRD, and I read a few questions also asking about what your virtual MBA looks like. So when we went to SCM-HRD for our GE PIVAT process, the PIAVAT process, we were struck back by the amount of professionalism the students showed over there. Right, there were people who were there and they were doing their work. Right. Throughout the day, as we all have seen our seniors, and they also keep instructing us that you have to understand that the understanding process of the whole MBA journey is a rigorous process, and it is a continuous process. The learning should never stop. You should never be taken aback, or you should never be found relaxed in any situation. So what the process or what a day at SCM-HRD looks like is you wake up, you go to the class, you study well, you give presentations. Other than that, you will have peer-to-peer learning. You go to your library, you study for your case studies, your competitions that are coming in a plethora of competitions. Like there are n number of competitions that come to SCMHRD. The students participate in it. We have got winners from all over the country, winners in all over the country, corporate competitions as well. Other than that, there are facilities for sports available. There is a separate basketball court, a separate swimming pool where people can go and relax in the evening. They can learn how to swim. So to relax your mind, you can do stuff like this. Other than that, you have got your wonderful seniors, your extremely wonderful committees where you can be appointed, where you can be selected in the first or second month of your MBA journey itself, and you get a family for life. So basically, this is what life at SCMHRD looks like. From the campus itself, you have so much to learn, but you have to manage your time according to that. Because as one of our seniors already told us, time lost can never be recovered. So use your time, and that is how you are going to excel in MBA as well. So
I'm sure this.
I would like to add that, sir. I would like to add that as Digvijay has told about the sessions or the life at SCMHRD on a physical basis, but I would like to add that there is no such thing that we are missing on in a virtual setup. We have the same MBA rigor, we have the same sessions, we have same classes from 9. I remember that Digvijay has classes from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. almost daily, and even on Sundays some days. So it is all about the learnings, and it is all about the knowledge which you can gain in those 3 to 4 months which we are in the online process. Because once we get on the at SCMHRD campus, we'll have more than the classes itself. And apart from that, we have our informal sessions, we have our committee sessions. Like, as SCMHRD is one of that institute that has everything from corporate, from the placements to the admissions, everything is handled by the student. So everything has to be managed, everything has to be planned beforehand, and that takes a lot of time and that takes a lot of efforts. Sometimes we go without sleep for a day, and because we are planning till 4 a.m., then there is a session at 8 a.m. So there is not much time to actually rest.
Yeah, Ketan, I completely agree about what you have mentioned, and I am really amazed. Of course, I keep interacting and organizing this kind of events with the SCMHRD and other Symbiosis students. But yeah, the way you handled it, the way the communication went on between us, it was very smooth. So that itself shows that you guys are almost half manager at this stage. And I'm sure all the viewers are looking forward to have you as seniors, I'm sure. So probably that would actually motivate them to work hard and get good score in SNAP exam. Okay, so here we have one question once again from Robin Saxena. And he wants to know, he's coming back to the selection process. He's asking about selection process. He wants to understand that what is the weightage of SNAP exam, or what will be the weightage of SNAP exam in the selection process this year? First. Second, how much weightage is given to extracurricular activities and the other profile apart from WorkX and academics? What other things you have, other credentials that you have during the interview process? Can someone tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'll take that question. Last year, we can give the perspective of the last year, and as Ketan has already mentioned, it will be a surprise for the next year itself, or this year. So last year it was 50% 50% for your SNAP percentile, weightage for SNAP percentile, and the other 50% for the GE PIVAT process. So basically what the thing is, you get equal percentage for what you performed in your exam and how you perform in the process. That is going to happen in the next half. So in the coming months or in the coming process, you will get to know through the mail itself that what your weightage is going to be for your CAT process, for your SNAP process, and for your GE PIVAT exam that you're going to do.
Great. So I think that question is answered. Aditya is asking, before you go ahead, so Aditya is asking which is better, SIBM or SCMHRD. Let me answer that question. Aditya, this question is as good as asking Mahendra Singh Dhoni which is better, CSK or Mumbai Indians. So this is a question that you should not ask. These are the top two teams, right? You can't compare. It's like apple with orange, right? So please don't have your perception, guys, about SIBM, SCMHRD and all. You can always identify the colleges as A plus colleges, A colleges, and B plus college, and so on and so forth. So SCMHRD, SIBM, and many other colleges are A plus colleges, right? So I'm sure that question is answered. Fine, go
But
ahead.
there is one more thing that I would like to add, which is unique to what SCMHRD does. Research paper has been made compulsory for everyone by our director. She is one of the most inspirational people that you will ever meet. She meets with the students regularly through the virtual setup as well. She comes on, she motivates the students that you have to do well, you have to make the legacy of SCMHRD better, because any kind of adversity should never stop you from coming forward and basically converting it into an opportunity. So she has given all of our seniors an opportunity to learn more. And there was an event as well, which was called as STEAM, a seminar which was held for all over the country scholars, and people came and they presented their research papers, including our seniors. So it gave basically an opportunity to all our seniors and all the students of SCMHRD to come forward and present their research papers. It was a great experience, as they already say it in a proud manner and they share it all over their social media platforms, that this is one of the most indulging experiences that they have gone through in their virtual MBA. Right?
Okay, fine, great. So Aditya, I apologize, I just misread your statement. I think Aditya was asking who is making Snap paper this year, SIBM or SCMHRD. It's always Snap body, so that is something confidential, which I'm sure it's not to be disclosed. Okay, Sanjay is asking one very valid question. Now, this is the case. If you look at IIMs and other top-notch B schools, they discourage students having more than 4 years or more than 3.5 years of experience. So is it the case even with SCMHRD, that do they discourage people after certain years of experience? What is the optimum experience for which they can fetch the maximum brownie points?
Right, so yeah, I would like to go. There is no such thing that there is a discouragement for any work beyond 3 years or beyond 4 years. We have students who have 4 years of experience. Okay. We have students who have more than 4 years of experience too. So basically, with the people who are writing Snap, the percentage of people who have actually 4 years of experience are less. So that's why they actually filter out and come out to the interviews less, and then when they convert, so the percentage is less for those people. But there is no such thing that they get a negative pointer for that, or they get a positive pointer for being a fresher, for being a people with an optimum experience of like 2 years. That is not the case. What is judged in an interview is your personality and what you bring to the table, what you bring to MBA as a personality. So that is the factor which may
and yeah, talking about hard numbers, as Ronak sir is asking for hard numbers, I think, right? So the demographic and the work experience duration, it was already released in our brochure, which was recently released. It is almost 50-50. Like 49% of students at SCMHRD in the last batch were 1 year or less than 1 year of experience, and 51% of students had more than 1 year of experience. So you can see that there is a balance that the higher authorities also keep, because the peer-to-peer learning can be done in a balanced way when there is balance in the classroom as well. So only BA course has got that thing where you have to have 2+ years of work experience. Other than that, there is I won't say that there are brownie points for your work experience if you have 2 years, 3 years or 4 years of work experience, or you are a fresher, because everybody brings a new and a positive perspective to the whole class, and everybody learns from that.
Fine. Okay. So now before we wind up, everyone. So yeah, Ketan and Digvijay, can you just share your strategy last year? How did you prepare for Snap, and how much time did you allot to different sections? How did you accelerate your preparation in last 2 months? So can you just tell that to the students?
Yeah. So I'd like to start first. As I already mentioned, I was working, so I could not basically give 24 hours of my day to the process. So what I used to do was, whenever I came home, I used to relax for 30-35 minutes or 40 minutes, and I began with the analysis of the mock paper that I had given beforehand. So that basically gave me a perspective of what my strengths and weaknesses were. And then in the next 1.5 hours, I used to brush up on my formulae, and I used to do 10-15 questions of quants or DILR. So that basically opened my mind up, and then I went on to read something online, any article, any kind of ebook, any kind of Amazon Kindle thing. So that basically gave me a fresher perspective of things. I did not make it monotonous. Other than that, when Saturday night came, I gave a mock in Saturday evening. I analyzed it on the Sunday morning. I gave another mock on Sunday, and I analyzed it in Sunday evening. So my Sunday was jam-packed for 12 to 13 hours of study itself. Right.
So just a moment. So here is a message for everyone. So you know what most of the students do, because I train them, and when I ask them, I see that they write about 3 to 4 mocks every week. But when you ask them how much time did you spend on analysis, most of them do not spend sufficient time on analysis. So maybe you can elaborate a bit more on that. Yes, Digvijay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So continuing with that, one message to everyone, and I would like to make it really clear for every one of you that forget your Sundays, forget your Gandhi Jayantis, forget your holidays for the next 2.5 months, because you will get it a lot. You'll get a lot of Sundays, you'll get a lot of holidays after the 2 years of your, after the 2.5 months of your preparation. Once the result comes out and you are in the top 10, top 2-3 percentile of students, it will all be worth it, right? So make it worthwhile and you will succeed. That's my.
So yeah, sharing my perspective, and I was a fresher while I was also indulged in internships and other things. But I had a time at my hand. So, but on the start, like when the September month came and there was only 2 to 3 months left, the preparation was accelerated from my side also. The paper was last year for 2 hours. So what I did was I used to study for 2 hours only. I would not stretch it for more than 2 hours. Like make a slot of 2 hours, then take rest, and then again study for 2 hours, so that I don't I have to be very, very concentrated in those 2 hours on the exam day as well. So that makes a habit of getting into the concentration and getting into the flow of exam beforehand itself. And also apart from that, preparing, revising, like Digvijay said about the tables and about the squares. So I had a sheet on my clipboard, and I had to revise them daily. Whenever I get up, I used to see them, and I just need to look at them, and within a month or two, I was very, very thorough with them. So that is one thing which I would like to tell them.
Great. So guys, as a quant and LRDI trainer, I would like to just add on to what they have said. SNAP exam has been a time-based exam. It's a speed exam, unlike CAT, where it's about detailed thinking. In SNAP, it's more about speed, okay, first, and of course accuracy, because you have little time to make mistakes, right? So making your calculations faster is very important. So what we are doing is, I have started a new course for all the students. It's a free course on Unacademy Learning app. So I'm sure all of you would have downloaded this learning app, and every afternoon 2 to 4 I'm conducting the basics of maths course, particularly for non-engineers who are lacking in maths. So how to improve your calculations. So join me for that, and yes, please focus on your calculations and accuracy. Yes, Ketan and Digvijay, do you agree with that? How important is your accuracy?
Correct. So one more point I would like to add, and then we can end it. So mock analysis is very important. Do not forget after giving the mock that you will have to analyze it also, because in the analysis part you will get to know what are your strengths and weaknesses. I've seen aspirants and I've seen my friends and peers, they don't know. They just attempt the paper. In one mock they get 98 percentile, in one mock they get 90 percentile, and then they said that what is my strength? I don't know. So when you go on the analysis section, you will see that what type of questions you are attempting correctly, what type of questions you are attempting wrongly in the past few mocks. Like go through each mock and maintain an Excel sheet, or maintain in a book that this is the type of question. For example, the blood relations questions you are doing wrong in every mock, or maybe in 2-3 mocks out of the 4 mocks you have given. So that way you know that this is your weakness and you don't have to attempt it in the paper. And similar with the strength, that you will get to know what your strengths are, and then you will have to be sure that you are attempting those questions first when you go in that 60 minutes paper. And apart from that, I would like to add that if you have any queries, any personal queries, you are feeling demotivated or you're feeling anxious, then you can just ping us on the admissions and we'll be very, very quick to reply to you, and you can talk to us personally also. And there is no such thing like demotivation. It is just a phase and you will get through it, and you will have to keep just believe in yourself and give that exam. And you just want one seat, you don't want a whole college, you are competing for one seat, and that should be your aim.
Great, great. Acha, guys, can you just tell us something about the internship opportunities? Because I'm sure students are curious about internship, because nowadays we are not only talking about the placements figures of SCM HRD are superb, definitely, but what kind of internship do you get and when that starts? Because suppose your MBA starts from June, so when is your internship? When is the company start coming for the internship, and which kind of internship are you getting? Just tell us something about that.
Yes, so some of the, like, we have a placement report, we have a summer placement report as well, and a lot of details are given in that. But I would like to mention that some of the companies which come for internships are HUL and Philips, Sony, ABG, like Aditya Birla Group is coming for summer internships. Then there is Godrej, like major players from FMCG sectors, e-commerce sector, IT sector come to hire for internships as well. And the time frame, like I cannot be sure about the time frame, because right now we don't know when the process will happen.
Correct.
But
because just to add to what Ketan was saying, we cannot basically presume that when the date starts or when the process starts, because that is not in our hands. We just sit for the placements, we just sit for the summer internships, as our seniors did, and they get wonderful placements. As Ketan already talked about the big players, the other big players that come for BA as well, the Brillio company comes there, Tiger Analytics, Fractal Analytics. Other than that, Philips comes for the summer internships. So it is in the higher 3 lakhs, the highest placement for summer internships for HR, and basically goes up to 3.2 lakhs, and for BA it goes to around 2.5 lakhs for 2 months. So other than that, the average and the median placements are also given in the brochure. The students can go to our website and they could basically look at those numbers, and they can feel motivated that yes, when you do something for 2 months, it is going to be constructive, and whenever a company comes and recruits you for that work itself, it basically generates an amount of confidence that you are good enough for the industry itself. So people who have this feeling that yes, I'm a fresher, like a question I read that I have 36 plus months of work experience, will that not be will it be kind of a drawback? So it's not going to be a drawback. You can teach your peers what you learned in the corporate world, what you learned in the industry, and and that could basically help them gauge what the industry looks like. So peer-to-peer learning is most important part of it.
Correct. As rightly said, Digvijay, by you, that when the companies offer you 3 lakh rupees for internship, or even if they offer 2 lakh rupees, I'm sure they'll make sure that you work, and when you work, you gain. Right. So, and this is what doesn't happen in the B and C tier colleges, right? Many students do not even get this stipend. Now, when you're working for some company at a free of cost, you can't expect them to take you seriously, right? So this is what happens when you get into top-notch colleges. You get you get amazing opportunity at every nook and corner. Okay, everyone, all those who are watching right now, I forgot to mention, guys, why don't you share your experience in the comment section? Many of you are putting it in the chat box will disappear. So please, whatever you like about the section, whatever is your takeaway, please put it in the comments, okay? So that it remains there for other viewers also who are watching this video after the session. So please share your views as a comments just below the videos. Everyone, please, this is a request. And yeah, before we wind up, so last phase, guys, how did you choose your specialization? So Digvijay, it was I believe you have done your homework. You did your homework that okay, this is the reason I want to go for business analytics. But apart from business analytics, if someone is confused between whether should I go for marketing, finance, HR, a typical engineer who hardly knows anything about all this, right? He or she has heard of everything. And many students come across me and they ask me, sir, which specialization should I go for? Of course, I can't say you go for marketing or you go for finance. It's them who will have to decide for themselves, right? So can you help them in deciding process? What should be that process?
So it is not a process that happens on the first day you join the college, right? The college basically goes through a lot of pain to make you understand the pros of all of the specializations that it gives you. The options for you are immense, right? In every domain, in every specialization, the amount of experience that you can have from the industry is immense, and the institute makes sure that you get all of the insights from the best possible people about the specialization itself. The alumni also are included. They give you their insights. The college faculty who have had previous work experience in the industry, they give you insights. The director, as I've already mentioned, she takes a lot of pain, and she already comes and motivates the student as to what they should look forward to. It's not like HR is the only way to go. If a person is very interested in digital marketing, as I can vouch for Ketan, he is really interested in digital marketing, and that is why he chose marketing, because that is the passion that comes from within a person. So we have to look at our own selves, we have to look at the insights provided by the institute itself, and then we have to come to a conclusion that what could be the best possible way to go for it, right? So this is my advice to everyone. Don't get very what do we call it, the word for it is not very
stressed. I believe stressed about this selection.
Yeah, don't get stressed away in the first part of your process. Just go through the motions. Once you get selected, once you get to the campus, once you start interacting with your peers, you're going to get a lot of information. You have to process that information, you have to analyze it, and you have to come up with a solution.
Yeah, so Digvijay, just want to ask you, I mean, you must have appeared for many interviews, even Ketan for that matter, you can also answer this. So you must have appeared for SEM HRD and other B school interviews also. So if you take a sample of 10 B schools, in how many of this 10 B schools were you asked this question during the interview, that which specialization do you want to go for? Can you just tell the viewers about that?
Right. So I'll go first, Ketan, then you can, right? So out of 10 B schools, I'd say that 3 of them would ask you, right? If
Only
if they have already divided their exam or their specializations from the beforehand, they'll ask you from the day itself, right? Will you be going for this specialization or this specialization? What is your first preference? Right? And especially to people who have work experience, they have to have a crystal clear thought process that why they are choosing or opting for that specialization. Because you have worked in that industry, why are you leaving your working, and why are you going for a certain specialization itself? That has to be really clear to you.
Yes, absolutely.
So for freshers, like for me, I gave around 7 to 8 interviews. And in only just 1 or 2 of them, they asked for the specialization part. And for that also, they now I'm very clear that when the interviewer asks about your specialization before even starting an MBA, so he is looking for, can you even relate what you are speaking? Like if you speak marketing, then can you relate your previous experiences, your previous projects, or your previous internships to that particular domain? And will that be very relevant to the course that you are taking? Because if I say, like, if I want to, they are looking that you are not just being persuaded just because of placements or just because your friend is taking an HR. The process of decision making should be very logical, because the specialization will stay with you for the rest of your lifetime, and you'll have to work in that domain. And if you'll not be able to perform, or if you'll be uninterested in that domain after 2 or 3 years, then it will not make sense.
Yeah, so I'll just share a small experience, because I also train students, I also guide students for their interview preparation. So many a times when I drill them during the mock interview, I ask them, which specialization would you like to go for? So students mention, I would like to go for finance. Okay, and when I ask them why finance, they say acha lagta hai. I mean, guys, this is not the answer that you should be giving, right? There has to be some logical connection. Right. So from that perspective, there is one more question that someone had asked earlier, that if I suppose I am hypothetically I am pursuing my BBA in finance, but somehow I didn't enjoy finance, and I think I would be more interested in pursuing marketing, HR during my MBA. So will it be a good idea? Will it affect in any way if I change my specialization? Or for example, if I am an IT engineer and I'm going for marketing, so how can I tackle the situation? Any thoughts on that? Maybe Digvijay,
Yeah, so,
since you have experience.
The thing is, sir, the thing is, there are a lot of processes that the institute also makes you go through, right? There are expert sessions, as I've already told you, alumni sessions, psychometric tests for tentative specializations, to read what is in your mind, right? To what extent you are leaning towards which specialization, and which specialization you could be the best suited for. So after that, then there is faculty counseling, individual faculty counseling, one-to-one faculty counseling. Like Ketan also had that one-to-one faculty counseling. The faculty used to ask you, why this, why not this? And the question which you asked, if we want to change, is it possible or not, right? So the thing is, you have to make a choice very carefully. Plus, you have to come up with the solution after processing all of the information. That is what I'm trying to say. If you are from WorkX, if you are changing your domain from IT to marketing, right? If you're changing your domain from IT to HR, then you must have a clear explanation in your mind. There is not going to be any counseling for that. You have to be really clear about your choice, that why HR, why marketing, why are you shifting your job domain from IT to marketing? Because these two are different in terms of the deliverables that they have, right? Because I shifted from operations to business analytics. So the question that was raised to me was, why business analytics? So I have to be really crystal clear in my mind that I have to give this answer.
Okay.
And I have to back it up.
Right. So Digvijay, continuing the same, maybe, yes, Ketan, you can also share your views, but then there is a question that Shashwat is asking. If you have experience in IT consultancy and want to pursue finance, how will you justify? If you are to justify that, if you are asked this pointed question in interview, so how will you justify that? If you can just give some food for thought to him, maybe either of you can answer.
Right. I would like to take that. So,
okay.
We have people in finance right now also, like our friends, like, who are not actually have a background of finance, but they are doing finance in SCMHRD. So one thing they have is that they had an interest early in the stage. Like, even if you are preparing right now and you are sure that you are going to convert or you are getting into a B school next year, so what you can do is you can start learning some finance concepts. Like, there are certain courses. Right now we have a lot of MOOCs, like the online courses going on Coursera and going on the other platforms which are introducing new courses for the finance part. Because once you say that you want to take finance, the next question would be, can be a basic question from finance, like a definition of a bond or a debenture. So you should be knowing those terms at least, because they know that you don't have a formal background of finance. But if you are saying that you are interested, then you should know the basics and how it works. So that is a pretty good thing to back it up. Like, if you have a good knowledge about that, then you can say that you will take finance.
Okay, so I think we have plenty of questions, and most of the questions, in fact, I'll say all the questions have been answered. Great team and great efforts, team SCMHRD. Right now, before I wind up, I would like to highlight certain facts, okay? Because I keep taking sessions on YouTube daily lives every day. This is one of those rare sessions where we have got 100% likes, where I haven't mentioned a single time students to like this video, but almost 90, there were 90 live viewers at one point of time, and almost everyone has liked this thing. And let me just read out some of the comments. They are saying, great work done by team SCMHRD, great work done by Ketan sir, Digvijay sir, great efforts by team SCMHRD. Unacademy comes only once or twice, by the way. So guys, you can be humble enough to thank Unacademy also, right?
Just to add to what Ronak sir is saying, thank you so much, sir, for providing this platform to SCMHRD students, right? And we were very keen to answer the questions of students, because this is going to be a new experience altogether. This is be like CAT 01 year or SNAP 01 year. when things are going to go from clock zero, right? So
Yes.
everybody has got a lot of questions, and you coming forward and giving us an opportunity and a platform to basically put forward our points and give pointers to the students who are basically in this panic situation right now as to what to do, how to do, where to go, why not to go, why to go. So your approach and your questions were really great, and the insights that we could provide were because only of your questions that you asked us. So thank you so much, sir, for your questions.
Yeah, and see one more thing. What I can make out based on the comments that are there, I feel that students are feeling as if they are sitting in front of you in the SCMHRD building or in the premise of SCMHRD. Guys, we all are from Pune. We all are here in Pune. I don't know about Ketan and Digvijay, but I am in Pune. And when the college starts, they are also here in Pune. And you know, you feel great. I mean, when you visit that SCMHRD campus, it's in one of the biggest IT hub of the country, which is Hinjawadi, and it's right in the center. It's such a precious place, and it gives you such a wonderful feeling when you enter to that premise. So I think students virtually also feeling the same thing, right? Okay, so Ketan and Digvijay, looking at the response of the students, I mean, I would surely like to invite you to be the guest faculty and conduct few more guest session for Unacademy, this CAT for MBA channel in the coming days. Maybe we can catch up once again after a month if your schedule permits you. You can just take a 1 hour session on maybe LR or VA or whatever you like. I'm sure students would like to learn directly from the students who have already cleared it. Right?
Sure.
So if I'm sure students would also request the same. Students, would you like them to come and teach you some topics? How many of you are up for this, guys? Yeah. Anubhav is straight away ping response. Okay, what about others, guys? Do you want to learn from them? Yeah, if you just respond very enthusiastically, I'm sure they'll be forced to think in this direction. And it's not me who is inviting, it's the students, and the Unacademy is inviting, right? As you know, Unacademy is also one of the official sponsor of IPL, right? So Unacademy is one of the largest growing organization, at tech company, you can say.
I would also like to thank every one of you who have given us these insightful questions, and Ronak sir to give us this platform to actually interact with the students. And again, I would mention that admissions you can log on to Facebook, and admissions@SCMHRD is the Facebook page of SCMHRD, and you can just message us anything you want, anything you are lagging, or if you are if you are feeling stressful about the exam, we'll be there to help you.
Yes. Okay. So with this, students, I would like to once again just tell you that please, be part of our daily life sessions. So my name is Ronak Shah. Before I wind up and we see off our guest, so please join me on YouTube for the daily life sessions. First thing that I'll suggest you should do is subscribe to this channel, and then you can also download the Unacademy Learning app and you can follow me over there. You will find me on Unacademy Learning app by the name Ronak Shah. Every day I conduct about 3 to 4 hours of daily life sessions. In fact, today in the afternoon I conducted one marathon on algebra. So Unacademy provides you that completely free learning platform. So please join us, and do not forget to share this video with your friends also. You can post it in different WhatsApp groups that you are part of and ask them to join us on this channel and let them also experience this wonderful interaction. So yes, team SCMHRD, I once again thank you all of you, and I can see that legacy has been continued that I've seen in the past, and the same has been continued. So wonderful. I'm sure students are looking forward to joining SCMHRD. It's just a matter of time that how they convert and how they absorb the pressure. But yes, we all are looking forward to
hosting themselves for the GE pivot process.
Right, but before that, I'm looking forward to have a couple of more sessions before they actually appear for the snap, and then before they get ready for GN pivot. So your inputs would be really appreciated. Yes, everyone, thanks for joining us for this daily life sessions, and we'll keep coming with this kind of sessions. So stay tuned. Next Sunday, something else is coming up, and we are there to help you out for every query and the questions that you have. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.